All right, we're going to wrap up our post-race media availabilities today for today's Consumers Energy 400. We are joined by our race-winning driver, Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Busch Light Mobile 1 Ford, and our race-winning passenger, Keelan Harvick, who's taking advantage of Kids Drive NASCAR this weekend. We will open it up to questions for the Harvicks. I'm going to start there with Rob and then go to Bob.
Rob T. Youngson of the podiumfinish.net. This question's for both of you guys. So we'll start with Kevin and then go to Keelan. Kevin, you're just on a terrific roll this year. I think it's a historical season pace that you're going at. Are there times that you just want to pinch yourself and say, this is just a dream, I'm just having a video game type season?
Heck yeah.
And Keelan, how awesome is it to share this experience with your father and kind of see what it's like to have him have his best year yet?
It was fun to enjoy that moment.
Yeah, I think as you look at the year, you got to remember, I spent a lot of years not having the most fun and not having the most success. And, over the past 5 years, we've been able to win a lot of races and do a lot of things, on the racetrack and winning races and championship. So it's been an incredible amount of stuff and wins packed into almost 5 years now. So, for me, I'm just enjoying every moment because you never know when it's going to go the other way. And right now, our guys are just doing a great job, and I'm enjoying everything. So it was pretty cool today. We got to go celebrate together. Yeah, he's been with me for the last 3 weeks, so we've had a big time. So it's pretty cool to look over there on your victory lap and see your 6-year-old in the passenger seat and being able to enjoy it with you. So that was definitely way up there on the bucket list of things that you didn't expect. So that's pretty neat.
We'll go to Bob next, up front. We need to get a wireless microphone up front to Bob, please.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. This has been kind of a dad-son weekend, right, from what we can gather on social media. So was this was that the best moment, or have there been better moments that we haven't seen?
Well, he did crash a golf cart into a pine tree, and all we could see were the golf bags sticking out of the back of the tree. I had to go in and dig him out. They got a little racy down the fairway, so that was entertaining after we figured out his eyes weren't poked out. But yeah, we've had some unapproved mom moments this weekend with the golf cart crash and the quarter midget. I'm sure that she'd probably be okay with him riding in the right side of the car since we didn't do any burnouts. But I think as you look at it, over the summer we've been able to. Like I say, he's been with me for the last 3 weeks, and what other sport can you take your kids to work and be able to enjoy things like that with them? And for me as a dad, I mean, there's not much better, and all you dads know this, than looking over and sharing one of your cool moments, and looking over, and the only person with you is your son. So that's pretty special.
We'll go back to Roy.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Roy Akers, Detroit Sports Media. With your win this month, and then when Clint won in June, and it must be a happy clubhouse at Stewart Haas. What is it like right now with the teamwork and things that are going on? You guys must truly be excited going to work and moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, they're motivated, and I think as you look at it, we're 3 weeks away from the playoffs, and you don't want it to shut off. You want it to keep going. So the motivation is to not let things slip through the crack, and they're covering all the details, and especially my group of guys that we're going on our 5th year together. So that experience and those attention to details of things that they do is second to none, and you see it week after week, and you look in the win column, and we're capitalizing on those fast cars. That hasn't always happened over the last 4 years, and I think this year we're making those moments count and getting wins out of them.
Oh, thanks for the blooming onion.
Absolutely. We had one last night, didn't we?
We're going to go to Greg and then to Rob.
Kevin, do you have any, Greg Krupa, Detroit News, sorry. Kevin, do you have any sense at all of the trend running out here at any point, or is this just going to go on? I mean, your elite racing series going to turn on a dime, do you think? or what's your confidence going forward? It must be huge.
Well, the confidence is high, and right now you just don't want to screw it up. So I think that the biggest thing that it does is it actually makes you work harder because of the fact that you want to cover all the details, because you're fairly certain that when the car rolls out of the hauler that it's going to be fast, and if it's not, you have the tools and the people to be able to figure it out and fix it. So when you look at June and you look at this weekend, the setups and the things that are in the car are totally different, and that's just the evolution of this sport. And when you have guys like the 18 and the 78 and all the cars that are in the garage that want to win races, they're going to continuously push. So you can't sit on your hands, and you have to continue to progress. And I think, you look at Ford announcing the Mustang. I think that's an example of that. You look at the success on the racetrack, but that's not always going to be good enough. Everybody's going to have, if you give everybody a whole winter to work on their stuff from are we okay over there? Okay. From a Toyota and Chevrolet standpoint, they're going to work hard to make more downforce and with whatever the rules are and try to move forward. So we have to have something that we feel like we can push forward, and I think everybody feels like that's where we're headed with the Mustang.
We're going to go to Rob to the far right against the wall, and then we'll come back up front to Larry.
Rob Youngson of the podiumfinish.net again. Kevin, just a two-part question. How are you applying?
Where are you at?
I'm right over here behind the camera. That's where I'm standing. So how are you applying the success that you've had this season, like this win at Michigan, and where does this win rank for you? I know you said it's right up the tops, but considering all you accomplished, being a Cup champion, winning Daytona, now you got to be with your son, how does this rank?
Well, any win in this division of racing is hard to come by, and like I say, I've been on both sides of that and couldn't win a race to. If as hard as you were trying, you couldn't win. So, I think right now we're just enjoying it and understand, and all the guys on the team understand, because they've been on both sides of that fence as well, with the struggles and things that don't always go your way. So we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy each other, and we've eliminated a lot of extracurricular things to make sure that all we focus on is this race team. Don't care about anything else. Right now it's all about winning races and making sure that myself and Rodney and everybody's covering the details and be in the right state of mind as we go into Vegas.
Go to the far side, then go to Larry and go to Bob.
Dom Joseph, Racing Rookery. Kevin, for you, we're going to Bristol next week. Obviously, Kyle is very, very good there, and you two have been trading blows week in and week out. So is there any pressure going in there knowing he could respond? And for Keelan, how much fun was the ride?
Yeah, right now I'm just focused on us, and hopefully we go to Bristol and run well. How was the ride?
Good.
Was it rough?
Yeah.
You think the shocks needed some adjusting, or how was it?
Fun.
Okay, fun.
Bob?
Whose idea was that to put him shotgun, and was that a first?
That was our idea, wasn't it? We talked about that last night. Yeah. I told him we had it all planned out. So this isn't the first race that we've had it planned out. So it just hasn't worked out in the previous ones that we've been to Victory Lane, and they haven't been there. So he said he wanted the flag. So the only way to get the flag, he was mad that I gave the flag away in Loudon. So I told him if he wanted the flag, he had to come get it himself. I heard did they have to carry you out there? You weren't going to come out there, I heard. Is that true? Yeah. So he almost missed out on it again. So it's it's definitely something that he and I have been talking about, and was pretty neat to actually do.
We'll stay in the front with Bob and then go to Nate.
Bob Hocker, CSPN. I have two more.
You only get one, Bob.
Well,
You're hogging the microphone.
Does Delana need to approve? You said you hope that she.
We've learned to ask for forgiveness later, haven't we? Works a lot better that way.
Okay, and from a racing standpoint, am I putting too much into this, saying, gosh, you win by 3 seconds, Michigan, intermediate track, it's your championship to lose?
Well, you've seen these playoffs and how these three weeks at a time work. That's why, in my opinion, it's so important to have the bonus points and everything that goes with it. Homestead is such a unique racetrack, but you got to get there first. And as much as everybody thought Kyle Larson was a lock, You know, he had 2 bad races with all those bonus points that they had last year, and next thing you know, he's out. So it's you never know what's going to happen, and we go into 1 week at a time, trying to focus on the things we need to focus on, and right now we're going to enjoy this one and drink some cold Busch beer, and once we get home, where I am, I'll let you have a Jimmy John's sandwich and a water. What do you think? Yeah. So that you know, the next 3 I'm looking forward. The thing I'm looking forward to the most is the off week. It's been just the whole summer has just been, it's been stressful. You know, there's just so many politics and so many things happening in the sport right now, and you know, you just you want to focus. For me, this was really important because, you know, it felt like this is the first week back of being 100% focused on the racing and my team, and being selfish on focusing on those things and not worrying about all the other stuff that's going on with the sport. So that's the way we're going to approach it, and it's going good right now from a mental state of mind. I did. I had no interest. I wanted to focus. We were probably, what were we doing last night? We were probably watching football. Was it Friday night? Yeah, we watched football Friday. No, we didn't. I don't know. We were probably playing baseball or something on the PlayStation. I smoked him. Yeah.
We'll go to Nate, and then we'll go upstairs to the press box for a couple questions.
Unfair advantage. Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. So Austin Dillon drove all the way up to second today and probably had a shot to win, and he had a new chassis today. Rodney was in here earlier. Some other teams probably had some new stuff. Did you feel like other teams were maybe showing their hand for the playoffs, knowing this could be maybe an indicator for the mile-and-a-half tracks? And is it satisfying to do so well, knowing that might be the case?
Well, you never know exactly where everybody stands, and I know that everybody knows how important this race is to their manufacturer, and the things that you see on the racetrack are pretty close to probably what they're going to have. So yeah, you know, I think as an indicator for us and the way that we ran today. But you know, the only weird thing about that is we don't race on any of the tracks that look like this. But the mile and a halves have been good for us as well, and hopefully we can go and have the same speed and be able to win races. You're still going to have to win races in the playoffs in order to put yourself in the right position to have a chance in Homestead.
We're going to go upstairs to the press box.
Yeah, Wolfgang Monse, Rennsport Press Agency. First of all, congratulations, Kevin. Just a personal question. You said earlier that your little son has gone with you to the last races. In long term, when you one day will step out the race car, is there any plan? You plan a race career for your son to continue the family tradition in motorsport?
I think right now our main focus is just having fun and experiencing all different types of things, whether it's baseball or basketball. It's really just about whatever works out and whatever direction it goes, and that's kind of the way that Delaney and I have done things in life in general. It just seems like the answer always presents itself, and you kind of have the gut instinct to say this is what we need to do, whether it was with KHI and starting a family or having a second child or whatever the decision was. There's always that moment that you look at each other and say that's right or that's wrong, and we need to do something different. So that's way down the road. Right now we're having fun, aren't we? That's the main thing. We figure out whatever we can do to have fun, and we figured out, especially during these summer months when you go to Pocono and Loudon and a lot of these different places, we figured out our spots that we like to go to, and Michigan's always been one of those places that we can find a lot to do between the golf courses and Jackson Speedway and all the different ice cream shops. So I usually gain about 5 pounds, but when Keelan's around, but we have a good time.
And I think we had another question in the press box.
Yeah, Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Kevin, is this a chassis that you'd like to run on multiple occasions during the playoffs? And if so, where do you think it would suit best? Or do you think that Rodney has several other bullets left for you guys to use?
I'll be honest, I have no idea what chassis or car this is or where it is raced. Those guys do such a great job, and they get chopped up and cut up and rebuilt and new bodies on them and junked and moved all around, and next thing you know, you've got we've got cars that have, you know, Hendrick numbers, and then we've got all our new style Stewart Haas chassis that we started at 0. So I'm confused on the car count. We've got cars in the 700s, we've got cars in the thousands, and then we've got 001. So who knows? You know, I just can't tell you how impressive it is for me to be able to sit in those cars, and you know, I used to worry about, you know, which car it was, and I had my favorite car, and now they've got it down to such a science that it really, you know, it really doesn't matter. He's probably got his favorite cars, but if it's his favorite, I'm happy to drive it.
Go back down here, then to the far right. Right back there.
Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you.
Steve Newman, WINT Radio in Cleveland. I asked Brad when he was in here earlier if he thought possibly that somebody in the number 4 garage was channeling Smokey Yunick. Can you shed a little light on that in terms of, you know, where this winning is coming from?
Well, you'll have to go to Kannapolis and look in the shop.
All right, thanks.
Over to the far right, right behind you.
Steve Sweitz of the Lasco Press. This question is for Keelan. Keelan, what's more fun, playing golf or driving cars?
Driving cars.
Okay.
Of course.
See where that's going.
Yeah. Does golf take too long?
We'll go back there for a final question.
Tyler Reamer, WKTN. Kevin, even though Michigan is a unique track, it's a 2-mile track, and there's no 2-milers in the playoffs, what can you take from Michigan into the playoffs, if any?
The trophy and momentum. You know, that's really, honestly, that's really the things that we're focusing on is trying to get as many points as we can and capitalize on the cars that we have, and get them to victory lane. There's 3 more weeks. You know, winning at Bristol's a lot of fun as well. So is Darlington and Indy. So those are all 3 races that we'd love to have a chance, and you just got to keep riding the wave. You never know when it's going to end, and you hope that you can take it all the way to Homestead and win a championship with it. And that's the goal. The next goal is to win Bristol.
Well, Kevin and Keelan, congratulations, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.